hear from the team from Classificado, which is always really fun, very cool, engaging campaigns from that team. So excited to just get things going and see how we can best help you guys in the next few weeks and few months. Hello everybody, hello Nanette. But it's just we're always so thankful for you all making time to join us, and we're just really excited about all the things that you all are doing, and would love to feature you. So today we're talking with the team from El Clasificado, who is amazing. But the big thing is too is I want to make sure you all are sharing the cool things you're doing too, because that's how we find out about you, and then make sure we show you off to the crowd, because there's some very cool there's some cool ideas out there. There's some cool concepts. We want to make sure we're promoting you. That's a great question as we're kind of waiting for folks to jump in here a little bit today. Chat GPT, is anybody using it? Script writing, headline testing? Anybody?
Yeah, actually we've been using it for the last few months, and it's worked wonders for us when it comes to productivity. We're able to, we're using a lot of it to, we don't use exactly what the GTP spits out, but what it does spit out, we kind of edit it on our own, add our own flavor to it, and we're able to post out. But one thing that's beneficial, it does do it in Spanish, and it, we'll write something and then we'll just put it in. And the more information and the more, I guess you could say,
prompts.
Yeah, the more guidance you can give the bot, the better it'll be. Like if you tell it, write me a post for LinkedIn about the Super Bowl, and it'll literally like write it, and it'll add like hashtags, and it'll write something curated for that platform. Tell it to write a press release, it writes it exactly in the format of a press release. So it does a lot of really good stuff. Again, it's helped us a lot with productivity when it comes to writing posts for some of our clients and things like that. But I just took a training course on it last week at Cerritos College, and a lot of colleges are rolling out. And there's also something that people are using now, college professors, to combat it, to see who's turning in stuff that's written by ChatGPT, which is probably like the other bigger thing, because that's like the big thing right now. So people are using it so much that people are using it to turn in their work and whatnot. But Ignacio actually brought it to the Clasificado. So thank you, Ignacio. He's on the call right now, and he brought it to our attention that it was out a couple months ago, and so far it's been working really well for us.
So are they still allowing people to come in? Because I found out about 4 weeks ago, and I don't know if it was like a trial type link you clicked on, but then it said it was completely filled up now and check back later or something. Because I guess so many people were about in the last month or so. So does anybody know if that has been corrected yet or not? Or is it still, when you go to the link, say you can't register right now? Anybody
keep trying. It looks like it opens up and it'll close up as they make more bandwidth. But I'd keep trying. They just rolled out I think it's considered a Chat GPT Pro, and where they're charging $20 a month, and it kind of jumps you to the front of the line. So whenever it's too congested with a ton of people on it, you have first priority to be able to use it. And it's a little bit more intense. So we don't use the Pro, but
so
that is an option.
One was the other one free, or
yes, the Chat GPT is free. Yeah, you can log into the OpenAI and use it directly from there, and then just use the Chat GPT feature from there as well. But it's some pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah, I saw a commercial, I think, on Facebook for it, and I think the guy was talking about this might put Tesla out of business, and then he would write me code for a dog chasing a rabbit. Like in 30 seconds, it wrote the code, and so I don't know. I was just, wow, that's phenomenal.
I think this might be a good topic for us to have, maybe like a working session on how people are using it. So maybe I'm glad you brought this up. So maybe as follow-up today to the group, and because I know the folks from Village Media had reached out and they wanted to know if other people are experimenting. So maybe I'll set up some time to see if there's a smaller group or maybe one of the future, upcoming calls, so we could talk about this and how people are using it. Because I know even Caitlin on the DML side, there's been some work on how this works for code as well. So there's
Julia, we're actually a development partner for OpenAI, so you should probably talk to Brian.
Okay, Brian.
They're pretty well integrated into our stack and have been for a while. So it's kind of groovy what y'all are figuring out. It's very cool.
All right, we should definitely have a little working session and everybody can give each other tips. So we'll work on that. But We are so excited to see so many of you today, and we are thrilled to have the team from El Clasificado here today as well. So welcome to February's Big Branded Call. We have the team from El Clasificado here, and they have some really cool campaigns, some things they've been working on over the past few months. And so they're going to share all those with us. But before I get too far in, I'm going to pass it to Mr. Peter Lamb, who's going to introduce the team from El Clasificado, since he's been working with them for a very long time.
I like the way you said a very long time. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, I'm gonna give you the Frank and Ignacio show. Anybody else there, Frank, besides you and Ignacio?
I think Martha might be checking. I just saw her walk into the office, so she might.
I was gonna say something nasty, but more I can't do that. But I've known both these guys for a long time. I mean, the brains, Frank's got all the brains that needs to get done. Ignacio's the sales engine. This is the perfect combination for branded content. I'm thrilled about it. I love the General Mills conversation. Frank, Ignacio, it's all up to you. Kick some butt, man. Good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you, Peter. Thanks for the introduction. All right, let me go ahead and start sharing my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep, looks good.
Okay, great. It's gonna go full screen now, okay? Give me a second.
Okay.
Julia, can you send Martha the Torlatore the link?
Sure.
No.
Yes.
I would love to see Martha in here. I'm going to send it to her right now.
Great, thank you.
Girl, Paris.
Okay, let me know when you guys can see it full screen. I'm trying to get it full screen. Can you guys see it in full screen yet? No?
Not yet.
Okay. Let me try closing it and reopening it. Sorry. There it goes.
Oh, no worries.
Okay, you guys see it full screen now, right?
Yep, looks good.
Okay, great. Okay, cool. So thanks again. I know I presented some of this stuff in Chicago, so I'm not going to do my Spanish joke because the presentation is not in Spanish, it's in English. But I know you're wondering, El Clasificado. I did a quick couple slides just so you guys can get to know about the brand. So I'll talk a little bit about the platform. So El Clasificado, our audience reach is 265,000 weekly in print. We're the largest Spanish newspaper in the country. But more or less, we're more of a shopper. So we have, about 15% content, 85% advertisement. We've been in business since 1988. This year is our 35th anniversary. We're having a 35th anniversary party on Cinco de Mayo. So everybody's welcome to come down if you're in the LA area. If you're not, go ahead and make the trip. We'll show you around. You guys can come visit the office. We also have elclasificado.com. Our CEO was very digital savvy in the late 90s, late 90s. We were actually one of the first 100 websites that started. And back then, obviously, it was just like a PDF type of media kit thing. Now we've evolved to where the Spanish version of Craigslist, except a lot nicer looking for sure. And we get about 8 million monthly page views, 16.3 monthly sessions, 16.3 million monthly sessions. Then during the pandemic, we introduced a digital magazine. Digital magazine covers some zones that we unfortunately had to cut out due to cost cutting during the pandemic. We're up to about 6,000 weekly readers on that. And the average reader spends about two and a half minutes, 3 minutes reading the magazine online. Then we also have email database of over 350,000 people. Again, this is just our magazine. We cover 265,000 weekly circulation. We have over 9,500 distribution points. About 1 million people read the magazine. If you go based off of households that pick up the magazine, 34 different zones, reaching 192 different cities in Southern California. This is the website. Again, like I said, I told you, we're better looking than Craigslist, but we are like Craigslist. When the website was introduced, it was more of a buy and sell, but it's evolved to where it's mostly businesses posting. So you go in and you can see the different categories people are posting these ads. You can see one of our top 3 categories are job opportunities, home services, and apartments for rent. And then we have autos and whatnot. We have 356 global locations. So wherever you're at, you can go to clasificado.com and search ads in your area. We have we have locations all over the US and UK, Mexico, all the other Latin American countries as well too. There's a lot of branded content opportunities there, as you can see to the left on the slide. We create articles within the website that showcases local small businesses and again, some other businesses as well. Our social media reach is about 11.5 million. We do very well on Facebook and Instagram. We cover all the other bases as well too, Pinterest and YouTube. This is just a little brief introduction to our digital magazine. We promote basically the same kind of content that we have on our regular paper magazine, except we have more content. That one is about 60% more content, not as much ad, very visual, very nice looking. You can go to classical.com and download a copy on your phone so you can check it out. And again, we have another thing that's came back, Classical live events. We have, for anybody that knows what a quinceañera is, we have 6 quinceañera expos a year. Our first one's coming up this Sunday in the San Fernando Valley. This is a great opportunity for national brands. We work with national brands like Neutrogena, Disney, Live Nation, whatever it is people are looking to promote. This is a great way to engage with families. On any given expo, we get between 1,500 up to 3,000 people to attend. We have our first one coming up this Sunday. Hopefully it's a good success. We have 4 other business expos. We do more B2B related. And then we just started doing job fairs. Last year, we teamed up with local community colleges and we have job fairs. There was a big need in the community to host these job fairs because, as most of you well know, the Black and Brown community was hit the hardest during COVID when it came to unemployment. So we were hoping to curate that by having these job fairs. The first 2 we did last year were a great success. Had over 1,000 people show up, got about 200 people employed, and about another 100 that signed up for classes on these college campuses. Over 10,000 attendees are expected to attend all of our events combined. Okay. That being said, I wanted to jump in. That's just a little quick overview on the Clasificado. I will talk a little bit more about some stuff we got coming up for 2023. But now I wanted to jump into our General Mills recap. So during these boot camps that you guys had, we have myself, Giancarlo, Ignacio, we've attended. We got some ideas and different things. And one of the biggest takeaways for me, Giancarlo, especially Ignacio, was that we had to use all of our assets. So we had this unique opportunity when General Mills approached us and they had created these different recipes to get in contact with the Hispanic community, right? But Hispanics, when it comes to food, we're really particular about who we deal with. So it had to be done in a way where it's authentic and it doesn't feel like we're just slapping an en español on there, right? So one of the things they wanted to do is they wanted to get these cereals and put out recipes to help Hispanics connect with the General Mills brand by creating desserts for their posadas. Posadas, if you don't know, is a Hispanic it's a Hispanic celebration, but it's mostly celebrated in Mexico. And obviously us being here in Southern California with 49% of the population is from Mexican American. There's a lot of celebrations for posadas. Basically what it is between December 16th to December 24th. It's a celebration of the journey that the wise men had and Mary and Joseph. I don't want to get too into the weeds with that, but it's a holiday celebration. It goes on for 8 days. It's mostly celebrated at churches, but it's expanded now where people have these celebrations at their homes, community centers, and whatnot. So it's a lot of different things going on. So we figured this is a great opportunity for us to display our Posadas magazine that we're already doing before we met General Mills, to incorporate their recipes in that magazine, and they can cover all our different assets that we use to promote that magazine. I'll show you really quickly what we came up with. As you can see here, we posted half-page ads in our magazine promoting the recipes. There were QR codes. This is an actual live look at the magazine. So we had different QR codes where people would scan and it would go out and then they would download these recipes. So you can see they have a half page, quarter page, different recipes. Again, the recipes were all going back to General Mills landing page. And they also had coupons as well too, where if you scan this code, you get like a $3 coupon off a box of cereal, which is a really good deal. The circulation for this was 325,000 copies. At that point, that's what we had. Then our frequency was 3 times a week. So the artwork did 3 different magazines, 3 different pieces of artwork. Then we also had it in our digital magazine with the full page ad in the Los Angeles market and 3 different digital magazines that we do. Then we also incorporated our social. So we had Facebook ads and we had Facebook organic posts that went out during the celebration of Posadas. Again, we were trying to push the user to download these recipes and to use them. And again, one of the things that was really helpful for us here was that General Mills created a lot of great artwork. You can see it's very in touch with the community. They had the different types of desserts that they can create, because again, like I said, you know, we're really, when it comes to Hispanics and how we celebrate the holidays and the type of food that we eat, we're very particular. So, you know, the fact that they created this artwork with these great pictures, and they actually gave us ideas on how they can incorporate this into your holiday celebration was really good. And we had more Facebook posts, different Facebook posts went up different day. They all did pretty well. They all performed pretty well on our Facebook ads, but we also went a step further and we started creating Instagram Reels. Back then in 2021, Instagram Reels was kind of barely starting to take effect for us, and it started to garner more attention in the Hispanic community. So we took a lot of their artwork and added motion graphics to it. We added music and whatnot, so they performed really well. We did a number of different reels to them. One other thing that we did too, as well, as you can see on this reel, is we partner with a local, I don't know if for anybody that's been in Southern California, we partner with Olvera Street. Olvera Street has the largest Posada celebration in the nation. Basically, it might be in the world outside of Mexico. And it's basically Olvera Street gets shut down. There's thousands of people come out and they celebrate the Posada celebration with food and piñatas. That's one of the celebrations. They come out, they break piñatas and all these different things. So we were able to get a booth there, having the booth there with some, you know, menus of General Mills. People could download the recipes. You can see on this reel here, this woman comes over, she scans the QR code, she gets a coupon for the cereal boxes, and then she was able to connect directly with General Mills. That was a real success for us, because not only did we have physical presence, but we also presented General Mills in a light they probably haven't seen before, because we were connected in that event. It's a very unique event. We also took advantage of Pinterest. I don't know how many of the companies online do Pinterest, but Pinterest does really well for us. We get about 10 million monthly impressions. One of the big things that Pinterest does well for us is recipes. So we knew us taking these recipes and turning them into pins would do really well for us. So Pinterest was a big success for us, and so it has been for the last few years. So we incorporated that as well. You know, based on everything that we've learned here, is try to use all of our assets and try to brand as much as possible with these different campaigns. So you can see the different pins here. Then you can see the actual magazine itself. They sponsored the front cover, more recipes on the inside, full pages. We had inside back page, the cover strip, all these different opportunities for them. So basically it was a magazine that was sponsored by General Mills. This was very fruitful for us on the revenue side, but as well as getting it out to the community. I think the community saw General Mills in a different light, because they were creating these posadas recipes for people to celebrate with their families. And one other thing that we took advantage of as well, I'm not so well versed in it, so I mean, I'll ask Ignacio if he wants to touch a little bit on these grocery billboards. We have access to about 58 different locations where our magazines are distributed, and these are amazing. Every time that I talk to one of these big corporations and I tell them about these magazines, they get all excited. Sorry, about these billboards, they get really excited. So I know, Ignacio, if you wanted to touch light a little bit on these billboards.
Yeah, we have a partnership with a grocery stores throughout Southern California, and where we have our racks where we distribute our magazine. We also rent out space to other magazines in these particular racks. But because we have these in position, we have the ability to put these, what we call grocery mini billboards. And we also have a ton of other what we consider mini billboards, or a little bit smaller. As a whole, we have a little bit over 2,000 of those throughout Southern California. So they're really good POS pieces where people can just, while they're picking up the magazine, they see what advertisers promoting, whether it be a product or service, and they could, we can place a QR code there, whether it's for a direct call QR code or QR code redirect them to a social media page or to their website. But they're pretty popular with our customers.
Yeah, no, definitely they are. I just had a meeting with Live Nation, and we showed them pictures of these, and they were super excited about it, because it's a unique piece that we have, and I'm sure most of the other publishers that have magazines have these as well too. But adding this to the package just added like another layer of contact or that engagement with the customer, especially when they're in the grocery store, they're heading into the grocery store and they're seeing an advertisement for a download a coupon to get a cereal box. So it was a really good campaign for us to include that in there. Then you can see more pictures of them. And these are the mini billboards that Ignacio was talking about. So these are the smaller ones that have only our magazines. Again, same kind of concept, QR code. They're mostly are posted either in front of restaurants or in front of grocery stores. Then we have direct mail postcards as well too. This is something, again, Ignacio, I don't know if you want to touch base on these when we sent these out, but these are a good success for us as well too.
Yeah, we have built within our platform the ability to upload a CSV file with addresses, and then we will go ahead and upload graphics and send those out directly. So we don't even touch the print aspect of this. It just goes right through our platform to Amazing Mail, and the Amazing Mail then takes our list along with graphics and sends these out to our audience. So what we're able to do using Data Axle, which is a company that we use, we're able to filter down an audience based on demographics, based on certain criteria that the customer was looking for in a certain area, and from there we were able to create a list that made sense. In this case, 10,400 addresses that they wanted to send out these postcards to, and that's it. We pretty much uploaded the graphics, and we have a curated list, and postcards up and away.
Yeah. No, thank you for that, Ignacio. I'm just looking at some of the questions. So the type of engagement
There's lots of them in there. Lots of questions.
Yeah. So let me scroll up to the top.
You want me to ask them to you? That might be easier than you scrolling.
Yeah, if you could.
Okay, and I see a couple of general questions just about El Clasificado. I'm going to save those till the end, but let's just talk about specific campaign questions. So I did see that Ignacio answered, but so General Mills built the landing page and gave you a lot of the materials. But obviously I see a question from Paris here too. So, they were obviously expecting analytics. So you mentioned that you want to keep you wanted your audience to download recipes. So what kind of analytics were you reporting back to General Mills?
So yeah, that was actually one of the things that we had to get creative with because like they're corporate, they have a lot of different layers. Like even to get this artwork, it took, I'm going to say months, almost a little bit over a month, because they had to create it, they had to get approved, and we had to send them proofs to see how it would look like. So because we didn't have access to that back end on their end, what we did is we created UTM tracking links and bit.lys as well too to track everything. So we created these different links. So every time we can see when people were clicking out to the recipe. So we had that, but that was just the beginning part because we didn't actually have the conversion. The conversion for us was them downloading the coupon. So those analytics, I don't believe they were shared with us, but we shared ours. For us, we had thousands of people going to the page, but we don't know how many people, because it's a two-step process. Because when you actually went to the General Mill page, they had like a page specifically built out for these recipes. But then on that page as well too, they had the coupon code. But when you download the coupon code, they wanted you to get into the SMS. So they would send you a code, and then once you got that code, then you would get the coupon. I mean, again, it was a good coupon because the cereal was $3 off, and I mean, anywhere in the US, a box of cereal is between $2 to $7. So it's basically getting for half price, or in some cases, you don't pay anything for it. But it was a really good coupon, so I understand why their level of security there with the SMS. So to answer your question, we didn't have numbers on the conversion, but we did have numbers of how many people we sent out to the landing page.
Okay, let's talk about Pinterest impressions too. Amber's wondering about how many impressions you get from Pinterest.
Yeah, so on Pinterest, we've noticed that people are, and I can tell you right now, we have a pin from 2015 that just does amazing. Somebody from editorial created an infographic. Infographics perform really well. So, if you have, something that's related to pets do really well. That's our pin that's been doing well. It always gets like about 300,000 impressions. And basically what it is, it's a pin that we tell people what type of human food your dog should eat and what type of human food your dog shouldn't eat. And this is basically an infographic of one on the left, one on the right. That one performs really well. When I first got here in El Clasificado in 2015, I was aware of Pinterest, but I didn't know how many impressions it garnered us until Martha kind of schooled me on it. And so ever since then, I became a big believer. Now we have somebody exclusively creating pins. So he creates pins on everything, but mostly it works for infographics. But if you do have something to send them back to, like for instance, that particular pin that talks about the different foods to give your pets, we send them back to our eclasical.com, where we have like pet supplies, and then we also have people that sell, not puppy mills, but people that breed dogs and they can adopt them. We have them on the page as well too. But with this General Mills, that we do really well with the recipes. People like save the pins, and that's one of the things we talked to General Mills. Some of the pins they created actually had like a step-by-step on how to create the recipe, so they can just save it to their phone. So fashion, pets, recipes, all that stuff does really well on Pinterest. Again, if you have any type of infographic as well too that's financial related, like things you need before you do your taxes, things you need to qualify for a home loan, those kind of things perform really well as well too. So if you aren't using it, I'm sure most of you are, but I would definitely suggest that you start using it.
Awesome. Okay, more questions.
Yes.
So how did you know that positioning the product with dessert recipes versus a breakfast cereal would go over well with the audience?
I mean, to be honest, the fact that we have over, what is it, Ignacio, 100 Latinos here, we started asking questions because, I'm used to using, pan dulce and all these other stuff that we have. And I was like, I don't know how this is going to work, cereal, who eats cereal at a party? But then when they introduced the aspect of making Rice Krispie treats, I was like, okay, that's kind of like, that's an aha moment for me, because my son and like my wife and everybody, they make those when we have parties. I was like, okay, yeah, definitely, like Hispanics, we do that all the time. It's a pretty cheap way to make dessert. So we present it in a way where you can download this coupon, and then they have cereal. They always have like these holiday cereals as well too during the holidays, like Lucky Charms and Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So we talked amongst ourselves in the team, and then we came to the agreement, okay, this could work if we present it in a way where they make these treats, like these dessert treats. Because one of the things when we first met up, we brainstormed, we're like, okay, people aren't going to eat cereal at a Christmas party, but we thought about the dessert aspect to it. And as you can see on some of the recipes, it was all focused on desserts. And I think, yeah, actually, as a matter of fact, one of them, it's actually a pretty clever recipe. It was fish. It was actually a fish recipe where you bread the fish using Honey Nut Cheerios. So that was a pretty interesting take. And I was like, it's amazing. They came up with that content for our magazine. So again, a lot of it did have to do with the content they provided us, but we did discuss it in-house because, again, the Hispanic community is really particular about what we eat. So I knew it would be a challenge, but fortunately for them, they stepped up and they created these recipes for the audience.
That's awesome. All right. So what type of audience engagement are you getting from the mini billboards?
Those work pretty well.
Ignacio?
Yeah, those work pretty well. They're really good as far as branding. The opportunity lies within the businesses by picking up these billboards within their target audience or target area. So for example, a local dentist will pick up 10 or 15 of these little mini billboards, all within a 3-mile radius of their clinic. So they work well because you're able to reach that local audience. And then, with a strong enough offer, it could do very well. But we position them where this is giving you an opportunity to brand your business, as opposed to, you're going to get 100 phone calls, you're going to get this amount. No, we set the expectations that this is mainly for branding. However, for some of the businesses, they work very well depending on that offer. Like I said, dentists, they'll put something like a free dental exam or a $9.99 dental exam and a simple cleaning, and that works pretty good. So it really comes down to the offer, but for the most part, we position them as a branding opportunity.
Got a good question from Liz here too. How did develop the relationship with General Mills?
That's a good one. I believe we've been
I
working.
can answer that.
Oh, yes.
I can answer that too.
Adriana, well, actually, Peter, I don't think you really know. Adriana Hernandez started as an intern when she was 15 or 16 years old from high school. I was inspired by the movie Stand and Delivered, called them up, and she was one of the second 2 rising stars that we hired. We mentored her. She went to Berkeley. After she graduated from Berkeley, I was surprised she wanted to come back. She did. She launched our events team, and eventually, she wanted to be a mom and stay at home. This is before stay at home worked for us. She was able to land a job with General Mills, and she came back and reached out to us, and we're really grateful. For Adriana Hernandez, remember that name.
Okay, we will. We'll never forget. Okay, one more, and then I know you have another campaign to show off. So, so data collection, when they downloaded the recipe, were you collecting email addresses? Did they have to enter an email to get the?
Yeah, so it was General Mills did that, and they did it via SMS. So basically, once you scan the QR code, you go to the landing page, and it had the recipes that you can look at, download. Then it also had the button where you download the coupon. but that's General Mills. They wanted to do SMS. And they wanted to do it using a two-step verification.
Send this stuff to Tammy Sweet for the.
So it was one of those things where it was like, we didn't have, analytics tracking on there. I went through the process, and I know it was a lengthy process, but again, because the coupon was so good, it was $3 off. I'm pretty sure they had quite a few conversions, but I don't have that number off deck. I don't know if they shared it with you, Ignacio, or Giancarlo. No, yeah.
No, they kept that discreet.
Yeah.
But they were super happy with it. So
You guys are happy. That's
Yeah.
good. Okay, I know you guys have something else to show, so I'll let you keep going.
Okay, let me get out of this one.
While he's looking for that, I want to add something that I want to really thank all of you with this branded content project, because I have, as CEO, and with my age, I have a huge network of contacts at big companies where they never wanted a classified ad in print or a classified ad online. And with the branded project, we now have a product that we can approach my contacts at Chase, at B of A, at major companies, especially since diversity in, equity is so big right now. That thank you for this project.
Thank you for being here. It's always good to have all of you. And honestly, it's all about sharing ideas. So this is why we're all here. So appreciate you all doing this today. And I appreciate the thoughts too. All right, Frank, I see the next one. Looks good.
Okay, great. So yeah, I wanted to show off one of our newest things that we did in November of last year. So as all you will know, or those that follow soccer, the World Cup was in November this year. So it was a challenge for us because usually in the summer and November, it overlapped into the holidays, but it was actually a huge success for us. We had a print and digital version. You're looking at the digital version, but the print copy itself did, I think, over 150,000, Ignacio?
it was over 250,000.
Yeah, 250,000 in sales. And it was really good. Our content team created this magazine. I present the digital version to you just so you can see it cleaner on your screen. But basically, our editorial team went through and they talked about each individual group for the soccer. Then we had positioning. So for instance, on the page that we talked about the Mexico national team or the Brazil, Argentina, the popular teams, there was advertisement placement to buy on there. Sure, kind of like the Super Bowl or what we do with the March Madness type of thing. But this one, because there's 32 teams, we had a lot more real estate to sell. So again, this is the digital copy. The print copy was over 100 pages, right, Ignacio? I think it was like 100 plus pages.
108 pages in.
Yeah, 108 pages
yeah.
of content. And one of the big things is the middle part where we had the different schedule. So this worked out really well for us because we were able, and then as people bought more into certain teams, like for instance, the Mexico national team being here in LA, a lot of people wanted to buy their advertisement space on that. So we actually created 6 different pages covering the Mexico national team, Argentina and Brazil usually are the more popular ones as well too. So that worked out really well for us. One thing though that we started doing, and I wanted to show you really quickly, was during the World Cup, we have somebody in-house that joined our team last year as well, that he came from radio. So we started doing video podcasts covering every day of the World Cup. And basically every day he would recap the World Cup, and that gave us a great opportunity. It was kind of like a not last minute thing, maybe 2 weeks before the World Cup, Giancarlo and the sales team came up with this idea. So we collaborated on it. So every day, Carlos and Giancarlo would film a recap, and we actually sold space on this video to our clients. During the recap, there would be a banner of our customer on the bottom, and then we actually inserted a commercial as well too. It did really well. You're looking at the YouTube channel. We started posting it mostly on YouTube, but we did really well on Facebook. Facebook is where we posted it. There was tons of engagement. Each video would garner between 7,000 to 10,000 views daily. And the video, since the World Cup was a daily thing, there was 3 games. Every day we posted new content. So it was a good opportunity for us to have a different advertiser. But for us, we had 3 advertisers buy out the whole 3 weeks of the World Cup. So it was a good success for us. And we're starting to scale that as well. So I'll jump into the last thing. It's what's next for El Clasificado. And, really quickly, I know we're pressed up against time, but what's next for us is we have a lot of special supplement magazines. And I know we're thinking, we're in this digital world, this TikTok Reels world, but trust me, supplements work. It's very unique. Our supplements are given out at different events or catered around an event. So you can see we have our employment supplement. So if anybody's in the employment category, we did something national with Macy's. You can see on this one where Macy's contacted us and they sponsored that magazine. So we did our first job fair. Macy's was able to, sponsor it. Then they posted all their jobs. They had national jobs. So any of the brands out there that are looking to get more of a footprint in the employment sector, we can definitely help with that. We have 4 job fairs lined up for this year. Starting off next month, we have them in Compton College. We have them in Walnut. The reason I say that is because we're at colleges. You have both best of both worlds. You have our audience coming in, then you have also the college audience, which are students looking for these kind of jobs. Then another magazine that we have is Quinceañera. Our Quinceañera magazine does really well with families. Quinceañera, for those of you that don't know, is when a girl turns 15. It's the coming of age. Usually it's the moms, the dads, the aunts, the grandmas, the cousins. It's a whole celebration. Everybody comes together. Hundreds of people show up to the parties. And with that being said, though, they need a place to find, these vendors that provide them with dresses, photography, and videos. So that's another great opportunity. And then we have the supplements that we have Posadas, and we have another one coming up. There's another soccer tournament this year in the summer, the Gold Cup that's here in the US. So we'll be doing that as well too. Something else, again, video podcast sponsorships. We are starting to cover the local leagues as well too. We cover not local, but the Mexican League. The Mexican League here does really well. So we started doing that a couple of weeks ago. So that's doing really well for us too as well. And again, the live events are not just for local customers, but a lot of that, we've worked with a lot of different national brands. We again have the family audience with Quinceañera. We have the employment audience with the job fairs, and then anybody offering B2B services on a national or local level. We have 4 different business expos. And then we usually get between 300 to 500 different small business owners. And then we also have some more intimate breakfasts that we have here that host about 60 to 100 people. Those do really well. It's very intimate. You can present your product there and you get a lot of face time with the businesses. That's it for me. Again, I like to echo what Martha said. Thank you, everybody, from the branding content. I don't know if there's any more questions in there, Julia, but thank you for everybody for listening. Before I go, I wanted to say that last summer when I was in Chicago, I saw the Black Press presentation, how there was a group of Black newspapers that got together. My first job actually was at a Black newspaper, so I was pretty impressed. I used to work at the Wave with Player Marshall back in, I won't say it because you guys can guess my age, but it was a long time ago. But what I wanted to say though is if there's any other Latino newspapers on there, I know we have Aldia and some other people on the line. I'd like to maybe start up something with us as well too. And anybody else that's out there, if you're looking to get in contact with the Hispanic audience, reach out to us. We've been doing this since 1988. We're authentic, and let us know. We're willing to work with anybody that needs help, and vice versa as well.
Appreciate the offer for sure, and absolutely, I would love to see a lot of people working together in partnership, because I think that is really powerful when we start bringing different organizations from different markets together. So love the thought, and I would absolutely love to see something like that come to life. All right, questions. I know there's at least one question in the chat I see. Okay, so I do have one question in the chat, just about like the core business. So
Okay.
When businesses post like the classified ads, so are they paying to post those? How does that whole process work with the just the listings that you guys have?
Sure. With classificado.com site. Yeah, absolutely. Majority of the posts for businesses are free. Depending on certain categories, there is a upcharge for particular categories that are pretty high in demand, depending on the area. But for the most part, the posts are free. The opportunity comes in where they want to position themselves a little bit better. So we developed this product called Brinca, which means jump. And the idea is, as you can see, there's an example under plumbers. You see there's 1,285 listings for a plumber. So we are giving the position where we give them a chance to move their ad up to the top every 24 hours, every 6 hours, or every 1 hour, or every hour. So that way they're positioned up on top, and they're not, they're more visible. But for the most part, we monetize this by charging for certain features, and then we of course partner up with Google as far as display ads that they showcase throughout all of our website as well. But for the most part, they are free. So if you have businesses, customers that want to place ads and want to reach Hispanic consumers in the area, they're welcome to jump onto our site and place those ads at no cost.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and like Ignacio was saying, like just for instance, this person, he's in Huntington Park here in LA. He's a plumber, and he uploaded his listing. Looks like somebody from our company might have helped him. He put a lot of information in there, but it's a free ad, and since the 1st of February, he's garnered 173 views. It's all for free. And again, it's a great way. And then we have analytics tracking as well too. When you set up your ad, you get a dashboard so you can see how many people called you, how many people viewed your ad. And then like Ignacio said, there's a lot of upsell opportunities as well too. And again, if you guys have any local businesses, we do have, just to show you, because I know there's people from different areas, when you go in here and you change it, you can actually change the language to English, and you can see. So if you're in here and you want to change your area, you can kind of just scroll down and you see all the different areas that we have. As you can see, we have everywhere basically. If we don't have your location, let me know. And Martha, I'll talk to Martha about adding a location wherever you're located. But we have Georgia, Florida, a lot of different places. And I know classical.com is like Martha's baby. So I don't know if you wanted to say something on the website, Martha.
If you have at least 30,000 Latinos in your micro community, let me know. We'd love to create a community.
That's awesome. I see a question from Gerald in the chat. On your job fairs, you have sponsors for the job fair, right?
Yes, so we work with a number of different employment agencies because we're a classified magazine. One of our top categories, if not the top category, is employment. So we work with a lot of staffing agencies, and we work directly too with a lot of corporations. Like in the last one, we had Fashion Nova, Macy's, Pollo Loco, and some other big brands come out, and they had a booth. So yeah, we have those kind of sponsors, and then we have the local, staffing agencies, job agencies. But if anybody wants to do something national, again, Macy's is a national brand, so is Fashion Nova and Pollo Loco. We can definitely cater something to that. Even if they can't have physical presence, there's a lot of digital. We involve in the job fairs, a digital magazine. We have a landing page where they can register, and we also get everybody's information that's looking for a job. And one of the things that we do, we take it a step further. And one of the things we started doing last year is when people register, we ask them if they had a resume. And if they didn't, then somebody from the marketing team would contact them and help them create a resume. So then everybody that attends would have a resume or something at least presentable to talk to these employeers when it comes their time.
That's awesome. All right, I know we're coming up on time. Peter, last thoughts before we wrap things up today.
Two things. Frank, I'll give you a call offline. I'm curious about Macy's. I have a meeting with the Chief Diversity Officer of Macy's on Thursday. So I think we have a conversation about that. Number two, the one area we always preach on the branded content project is access to new budgets, access to new revenue. I know that you use Martha's contacts. Anything else, any other methodology to get access to different types of businesses?
To be honest, I think LinkedIn and also like Facebook lead generation ads. And, I think one of the things too is just, looking at your contacts. I think when I was in here, I'm not trying to say nobody pays attention, but like paying attention in these classes, I think really helps. Because I remember when I was in here, I think 2 years ago, I forgot who it was, but somebody mentioned how Chase was spending a bunch of money. So we made a contact with Chase and we started talking to them, and they spent a little bit with us. We're still working some things out, but again, it's just that. It's just keeping an eye out and an ear out in the business community, attending events and going to things like that. Because most of the time we're in a digital world where you get all these emails, and a lot of the times people don't respond. So going to an event or a seminar or webinar like this and just making that first point of contact is very helpful. And I don't know, Ignacio does really well on the national side too, if you want to do some advice.
Well, we have some good relationships with them ad agencies as well. So we're constantly just reaching out to them and showcasing our different products. We ask them who are their list of clienteles, and if it makes sense for us to come up with a concept that they can present to their customers. That's also really helpful for us too. But we do have some pretty good relationships with some agencies that really has helped us a lot. And then we have a good amount of sales reps out in the field, just doing traditional cold calling, and that seems to be pretty good way for us to capture some of these opportunities.
Still 30 a day, right, Martha? 30 cold calls a day? Is that the rule?
At least they can't leave the office on Monday if they haven't done it. But Frank has really mastered, getting leads through the internet, with campaigns. That's another story.
That's it for me, Julia. Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you, amazing work. Love all the examples. Okay, we've got 60 seconds left for us to talk about some opportunities. So we're going to breeze through a bunch of things for you. This is your homework is to look at the links I'm going to send you later, but let's start off. Caitlin, real quick, custom content is still available and doing well, right?
Yes, we've had a couple of recent sales following these amazing calls from everyone here. So keep up the good work. Again, our content studio can provide content that is tailored to the specific advertiser and their audience, which you can include as its own series or create as its own series, or we can add it to a series they're already sponsoring. So, you know, just go into the marketplace and order it, or reach out to me, Caitlin at Distributed Media Lab, and I can help you walk you through that process.
Okay, I'm skipping around a little bit, Caitlin, but I wanted to do the shout out about, EV content, whether there's any interest, right?
Yes, actually, I'd love to, you know, if anyone wanted to say anything now, or if you wanted to pop something in the chat. So we've had a couple people reach out looking for specifically EV content, as a lot of car manufacturers move more and more in that direction. As you know, we have our car care series. Historically, that has been dedicated to all sorts of car topics, whether it be maintenance and do it yourself, and not so much EV. But I wondered, we've been talking a little bit about potentially pivoting and turning car care into a strictly EV series. So I'd love to get some thoughts on that. If you want to just toss it in the chat, that would be great, since I know we're low on time.
Yep. And then reach out to me or Caitlin in the future too, if something comes up, because it's something we're exploring and we're hearing a lot about. So we want to make sure we make it available if you guys need it. The other thing is coming up is today is the deadline for the Digital Innovation Awards, and there is a branded content category, and we want all of you to be winners. So we're going to send that link out to all of you. I heard a bird tell me this morning that they may extend the deadline, so you may have a little bit more time. But those awards are happening now, and we want to make sure that everyone on this call wins with your amazing campaigns. Liz, tell us about the LMC conference that's coming up too.
Yeah, so LMC Spring Conference planning is underway, and we'd be so thrilled and honored to have you join us in Scottsdale, May 9th through the 11th. The conference is free for members and partners of the LMC, and it's inexpensive for other local news publishers and vendors. And we'll have more information and an agenda forthcoming, and I hope we can see you all there.
That'd be great. And what is coming up next? The boot camp.
Yeah, so we're doing another boot camp. Very excited. This one's going to start late March, probably the 29th, probably that Thursday. Again, it's going to be a free 4-week boot camp, one group call a week, any one-on-one sales support and consulting that you would like, and then access to our turnkey products, branded badge, all the great networking and brainstorming and opportunities will be there. In fact, I'm going to put this sign up form in the chat now.
Yep. So get signed up, get your team signed up. And again, we're here to help. QR code to our website. Anything you all need, that's why we're here. We want to make sure that we're helping grow all sorts of new revenue lines for all of you and share all the brilliant ideas. So just keep them coming and keep participating and let us know how we can help you. Okay, with that, I'm going to see if there's any other questions. Otherwise, I'm going to let everybody have a few minutes back before your next Zoom starts. All right. Thanks again to the team from El Clasificado. You all are amazing. Appreciate everything you all are doing. Thank you so much for sharing some great ideas with the teams today. It's good to see you. You guys know where to find us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Fantastic work. Thank you.
Have a good
Thank you.
one.